Hello and welcome to this video in the CPA Way series. The CPA Way is a methodical approach to professional problems and consists of 5 parts. This video focuses on the third part, Analyze Major Issues. You can think of analyzing a major issue as looking through your camera and seeing many different paths across the landscape. Your goal is to thoroughly explore these paths so that you can gain a deep understanding of the issue to support conclusions and anticipate potential problems. Analysis is usually the most time-consuming aspect of your work. Recall that you have already assessed the situation in which you created a preliminary picture of the problem landscape, including identification of major issues and key situational factors and development of a work plan. For now, focus on analysis of just one issue. Your analysis will contain 3 main elements: selecting and applying technical methods and tools, thoroughly analyzing alternatives, information, perspectives, and so on, and evaluating information quality and sufficiency. Let's look more closely at each element. Selecting and applying technical tools and methods is like preparing for a trip. First, you need to choose the right gear for the situation. Relevant methods might include quantitative and/or qualitative techniques that are part of your technical competency toolbox. Strong technical competencies will help you choose the best tools. If the issue involves new technical knowledge, you might need to begin by researching and studying the methods used by area experts. In the professional education program, briefing documents can help you get started. Of course, you are expected to apply methods and tools correctly. Who would trust an accountant who makes calculation or other errors? And finally, you will need to incorporate realistic assumptions for the situation. The second element is the thorough analysis of relevant information. For example, a negative trend in working capital might suggest declining financial health, or it might indicate an improvement in resource management. You will gain greater insights by looking at this information from different angles, and perhaps from the perspectives of different stakeholders. A key difference between a professional and an inexperienced accountant is the thoroughness with which they analyze information. Inexperienced accountants tend to perform only partial analyses, waste time on irrelevant factors, and jump too quickly to conclusions. Professionals concentrate on the most important relevant information, use a wider range of methods, more thoroughly integrate situational factors, actively look for connections across competency areas, work efficiently by focusing only on viable alternatives, summarize arguments on multiple sides of an issue, and address uncertainties and conflicting information. Develop patience. Good analysis is often messy and time-consuming. After performing thorough analysis, how do you know whether you're done, especially when skepticism is part of the CPA mindset? Professional judgment is needed to decide whether you have enough of the right kind of information for the situation. Some situations, such as an audit of financial statements, require persuasive evidence that is unnecessary in other situations. Develop a habit of documenting and evaluating the quality of your information sources, even when documentation is not required by professional standards. Perhaps a marketing study is biased, or numerical data contain errors. You want to consider these possibilities before relying on the information. Determine how precise your calculations need to be. Maybe you can use a quick, rough estimate, or perhaps greater accuracy is needed. Identify, question, and justify key assumptions. Also, document your assumptions so that others who rely on your work can evaluate them too. Consider whether sensitivity analysis would be helpful to decision makers, especially when your assumptions are less certain. Reconcile conflicting or ambiguous information. Sometimes you will learn about errors in the information or additional risks that need to be factored in. Evaluate whether the data are sufficiently complete, valid, and reliable for the situation. If appropriate, verify, corroborate, or test information. These words probably bring to mind an audit or other assurance service, but in many other situations you will need to decide whether you can rely on the information. So far in this video, we have focused on analysis of just one major issue. How does analysis change when a problem includes multiple issues? When analyzing more than one major issue, you need to be on the lookout for possible overlaps or links between issues. For example, your analysis of a financial reporting issue might affect adjusting entries when preparing financial statements. Or, a capital budget might include negative cash flows that need to be carried over into analysis of financing options. Recall that the CPA mindset is like a professional hat consisting of the attitudes and behaviors, especially ethics, of the CPA. How should the CPA mindset affect your work while analyzing major issues? CPAs are known for their ability to analyze information objectively and with due care. They also pay careful attention to data sources, assumptions, and the strengths and limitations of information. In addition, their work gives CPAs a vision of all aspects of an organization, which enables them to consider a wide range of issues from different viewpoints. Because of these attributes, CPAs are more likely than others to question information and assumptions and to delve deeper under indications of risk. In other words, CPAs remain skeptical. These attributes help CPAs perform more thorough analyses when called for and to be constantly aware of the reliance they can or cannot place on information. When you are finished analyzing all major issues, you should have a clear picture of the landscape, having taken into account key situational factors. In other words, you have added considerably more detail to the preliminary landscape picture you created when you assessed the situation. This detail will ensure that you have the information and insights needed to reach well-founded conclusions and provide valuable advice. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Videos for other parts of the CPA Way are also available.